Hey everyone, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you guys are able to hear me and see me clearly. Give me a quick thumbs up. It's great to see you, all of you here. It's great to see all of you guys here. Great, great. Good afternoon, Sudarshan. Good afternoon, Ramya. Good afternoon, Faisal and Anantrag. It's great to see everyone here. Great, great. Give a quick thumbs up. Give a quick thumbs up if you're able to hear me and see me clearly. Awesome. All right, guys. All right. So let's start our session. We will start our discussion right now. So, again, I hope I am audible to all of you guys. And thank you so much for joining this session, especially on weekend. This is an initiative by AlmaBetter to guide the upcoming generation, upcoming students on career prospects in IT domain. Specifically cutting through the buzzwords which you guys might be hearing: AI, how AI will take the job, what is going to be the future prospect of career, all those things, and giving you a actionable journey to move forward. So I'm Alok. I will be your host for today's session. And during this session, you will explore the latest career trends, learn essential strategies for growth, how to get into placements, how to get a job, what all skill set you require, and then gain actionable tips, as I mentioned, from AlmaBetter alumni. So we have one alumni joining this session as a panelist, and she will be also sharing her journey to help you out to secure a high paying career, high growth career in 2025. So this is your opportunity. Feel free to utilize the platform, use Q&A, use the chat to ask your question, ask your doubts, and I'm sure this session is going to be really helpful and is kind of fulfilling for all of you guys. Okay? So let me share my screen. We'll start our discussion. Let me give you further insights about what we are going to talk about today. All right. So now the agenda, let me talk about the agenda. First of all, we'll start with the opportunities. What are opportunities in the Indian market right now? It is what are the career prospects, which we are going to focus on: data science, web development, all the high growth career prospects which you can pursue and how you can take it through that. Then next is going to be the roadmap. Next, we are going to talk about what should be your roadmap, what all things you should be focusing on, how it's going to be, how you can make your portfolio, how you can make yourself stand out from the crowd. All those things we will talk about in the roadmap section. After that, we will come to after that, we are going to talk about the role of Alma Better right now, what we are doing, and what all things we have for you, which you can take it up to pursue your journey to take it to the next level. After that, we have very interesting person joining in for the session as a panelist. So 𝐸𝐬𝐬, she is AlmaBetter alumni. So she will be talking about her journey, her story, and I'm sure a lot of you here will get the actionable insights from her. What are the challenges she has faced and how she kind of got the job, what she is, where she is working right now. And very interesting thing is, 𝐸𝐬𝐬 is from non-IT domain, and she has transitioned her career from non-IT to IT. So that is going to be very interesting for all of you. I'm sure all the students, all the people who joined from different platforms, you must be having this doubt in your mind. So I'm not from computer science, or I'm from non-IT domain. How do I plan out my journey? Whether it is suitable or not, how difficult it's going to be. So 𝐸𝐬𝐬 is here to give you that insights. And towards the end, we have Q&A section. So again, Q&A is going to go on for as much as we can. I just want that all of you guys who is joining from different platforms here, you should get your doubts resolved. So after this session, the confusion and the doubts which you have in mind, that should be cleared to a certain extent to the best of our effort. So let's start our discussion. So I'll again introduce you the panel. I am Alok, and I'm co-founder at AlmaBetter, and I'm also Dean of AlmaBetter University. We have recently partnered with Wolf University, E&ICT, IIT Guwahati. So I am Dean of AlmaBetter University, and there I have been managing all the learning journey at AlmaBetter. I have 8+ years of experience in machine learning and AI engineering, working at companies like American Express, Blackbuck, and other companies with those. And we have Ayman, as I mentioned, Ayman Sahai. She is AlmaBetter alumni, and she is right now working as decision scientist at Western Union. So she is in finance domain, and she has transitioned her career from non-IT to IT as a data scientist. So let's move forward. I hope you guys are excited. Give a quick thumbs up. So let's start our discussion. We will start with the opportunities. So let's thank you so much. Thank you so much, Saiba. Thank you so much. All right. So let's start our discussion with the opportunity. Because if you are thinking about choosing a career, the first thing which you will be thinking about, what's the prospect over there, right? What opportunity it lies? Are there, is it a high growth career? It's going to be in the future. What are the prospects? That is something which you should be thinking about first whenever you choose a career. So let me talk about the India's dominance in tech. So you must be hearing that India has always been in past 10, 20 years, in past 2 decades, India has dominated in the IT field specifically, right? So for different countries, it has been a different thing which helped them to grow. But in India, for India, it's the IT sector which has dominated. And because of IT sector, you see so many people in the industry, they are working in IT and making a mark all across the world. So it's a very big number when I say that India contributes 40% to global IT development. And trust me, right now, if you only think that the at the end it's a cheap labor from all across the world, they have to pay less amount. That's not only the case. That might be because of all the other factors, but apart from that, India is tech enabled. I'm sure lot of people over here, they have some understanding, they have somebody around them, and we have lot of people who are having the interest as well as they have seen the potential growth in the IT domain. That's why all across the world they prefer India, not just because of cheap labor, but also there are people over here who are interested, who are skilled enough, who can work on the IT projects and take things forward. So always this tech domain, when I'm saying IT is a bigger domain, IT is a bigger umbrella. Under that, tech is something which is going to be applicable over all in all the fields. So I'm just quoting few research from NASCOM. So India delivered exports totaling over 194 billion. So when I'm saying export, it's like IT export, the services, the products which we have, $194 billion export India has done. And currently 1.6 million, 1.6 million of these workers, employees are directly engaged in providing outsourced IT development services, as well as working in India. Not just, I'm just giving you a world perspective, not just for the world, in India also, in all the companies, in all the different aspects, you will see IT people, people are in tech and they are growing in this domain. And in the future also, you guys know this already, that future is with AI, right? Which is automation with intelligence that I'm going to talk about in just some time. So India at the core of it, if you are thinking about getting into IT sector, it's going to be a growing field. It's going to be a growing domain. Earlier, lot of companies now, they have started hiring more and more people from India, not just because of cheap labor. As I mentioned, it's the other side of it where they see that the skill is something which Indian people they have in tech domain, and people are generally very interested towards getting into it, right? So since there are a lot of opportunities, it's better to get into this career. And towards the whole direction which we see that AI is something which will be integrated in tech, not to reduce the number of opportunity, rather in tech the opportunities will increase. That's what the overall view is, and we will come to that story in just some time. And here, towards the end, the numbers which we do. So AlmaBetter, it is right now looking into placements, career. We want to be your, kind of helper, or we want to be with you in your journey to help you get to that end goal, that is the placements, right? And that is why it's important for us also to track and see how the whole landscape is going on right now. So we having the 700 plus hiring partners, we have seen right now 50,000 plus IT jobs in India. It is open right now, it is right now. In the upcoming years of 2025, 2026, these many number of seats, these many number of roles are going to be available for all the upcoming students, and it's going to grow in the near future. In the next 5-10 years, I would say it's going to be the growing field which you are going to be part of. Again, in this today's field, in this today's era, there is something, always there will be a speculation, always there will be a discussion that how things are going to shape after 5-10 years. But again, if you talk about next 5-10 years, it's something which is all, it's going to grow, right? Next, if I talk about the revolution of AI, right? Revolution of AI right now, there is a discussion around, there is a very clear discussion around, there is a very clear discussion around how this AI will affect the tech domain. Now, if I talk about the mindset of companies, how they are thinking right now. So earlier, the whole focus was on automation. So earlier, a lot of things were happening manual. Then there was a shift to automation. And the next phase, which we see in next 5 to 10 years, it's going to be automation with intelligence. So there will be automation, but there will be a factor of intelligence coming in. And what is that intelligence? That is your data science, machine learning, AI engineering. Those things are going to be more and more with us. You can see right now lot of things you can do using chat gpt. That is nothing but a automation with intelligence. There is an intelligent model, machine learning model for you, which can do lot of things which you were thinking what was difficult for you earlier to do in a particular period of time. Now it gives you in just few minutes, you can get lot of understanding, you can do lot of tasks over here. So that is what the next kind of future is going to be. Now, what we have seen in numbers and different results, different research, there is a growth of 37%. You can see a substantial growth in the data science jobs in next years, next upcoming years. 25% in web development jobs. So what I am trying to mention over here is, if I talk about IT jobs, it's going to grow, it's going to grow. And then other jobs which are non-IT, that is where lot of application will come in. I'm not saying that those things will go away, that will never happen. You need all the roles in the society to thrive. It's never going to be all, everything will be automated for non-IT. It's never going to be like that, but it's going to be, there will be an impact of AI in other fields. But when you are in tech domain, when you are aspiring for tech domain, you will be with AI to kind of implement systems, making things better, how to integrate in the process and the system where humans are involved, how AI can make it better. That is why all the companies now, they are looking for data science roles, they are looking for web development people. That is what the whole thought process is, because they want people who can analyze, who can look at the data, who can look at the past performance and help them to make a data driven decisions, help them to ensure that all the experience is very seamless. When I talk about data science, it's very clear that as a data scientist, when I was working in different companies, my whole job was to give company like American Express or Blackbuck and insight that, see, this is what the data is. Now this is how you should be planning and taking decision next step, right? What if I talk about American Express? How do you decrease the fraud, because it's a big problem for them? How do you ensure that people who are getting the loan, they are the right person? So all those things you work as a data scientist to provide the data driven insights. Now when it comes to web development, you can see all the companies, all the different right now industries, they are moving towards the digitalization. And this digitalization is something which is inevitable. People will come on internet, people will try to give you better experience, convenience factor. So all those things will come in future. So these two rules is going to thrive. Of course, the skill set, the learning, you have to do that continuously. It's never going to be like what you have learned today is going to work for 5-10 years or 20 years, but you have to keep growing, you have to keep learning. And that is something which is going to be key to your overall success, key to your overall career. So data science and web development, as a fresher, as a person who is still working in other domain, if you want to switch, these two are the domains where you can see that you will have a high growth, you will have a high paying career in over the time. So you can see that increase IT jobs, because at the end of it, as I mentioned, there will be AI development, data science, cyber security, prompt engineering. All these are going to be part of the roles which you will be taking through, right? The core of it is data science or web development, which domain you choose. But after some time, things are going to be start merging. After 4 or 5 years, you will see that you, as a data scientist, you need to have an understanding of cloud. As a web development, you need to have an understanding of deployment and other stuff. So it's going to be a very exciting future. But when you start it, it has to be something which you are choosing it right now, whether data science field you want to take up or it's a web development field you want to take up. That's how most of the freshers are going to take the first step, right? So that's the first thing. As automation will come in picture, with intelligence will come in picture, there will be more IT jobs, IT roles that will come in, where most of the people are going to be most of the people are going to be part of those, and they will thrive in their career. Next is automation of repetitive roles. All the time we try to work on making things which are repetitive. You try to make things as a what can be done through AI, how it can be kind of automated. That's where you should be part of other side, because I believe that those of you who joined this session, you have this understanding already that you want to get in tech, because you see that other side of it. There can be a future where there is no such growth, right? There is a 5% CAGR growth in traditional jobs. So in this case, when I'm saying 5% growth, there are certain roles where you will see growth, like marketing, etc., etc. But overall, for if I talk about non-traditional, or talk about traditional jobs where it is non-IT field, there you will see a little bit of decline in just some time because of the AI, and it's very natural. It's very natural. You will see whole world will move towards tech, but India has the biggest opportunity right now to get into it, because world recognizes that if they need to do something, if they want to kind of implement AI in their company, they will think about, okay, India has a good base, let's take our company over there and get people on board to take it further. Now, next is reskilling is critical. Always, always, I will mention that if you are in this field, if you are thinking about this field, don't think as you whatever you learn today is going to be all in. You don't have to learn anything further. Me having 8 years of experience now in the field of data science, AI engineering, every day things are changing. Every day we see new model of chat GPT is coming in. There are a lot of platforms coming in. You need to have those things in your skill set. You need to have those things. Always you have to reskill yourself so that you are confident about, okay, if any task is coming in, I am going to give the best solution to that. So you always have to upskill yourself. Now, when you talk about the data science and web development, right, overall how your roadmap or journey looks like, there are top roles. If I talk about data scientist, I can add over here data analyst as well. So data scientist, data analyst, ML engineer, deep learning specialist, DevOps engineer, full stack developer, MERN stack. These are certain roles which you take in over the time, right? You start with a role of, let's say, front end developer, data analyst, or a data scientist, decision scientist. There can be different roles, but over the course of your journey, you will be kind of choosing one of the domains where you want to get into, right? So initial, when you start your journey as an associate, as an entry level, you generally govern a LP of 5 to 10 lakhs, right? That is where you start, because that's the starting point. And in fact, if I talk about the entry level, this is not something which you think mostly. Of course, there should be a threshold, there should be a minimum amount where your livelihood is also managed. But at the end of it, your starting of the career is always going to be the learning part. What do you learn? What type of experience you are going to get? So, like if I talk about the data science journey, so in data science, you generally start with a data analyst role where you are going to look at the past data and try to derive the insights. What's the status quo? So, company, some manager or CEO will come to data science team to you and ask that in last year this was the revenue, and this year this is what the revenue is. It has gone down by 5% or something or the other. Give me why it has gone down. You will try to deep down. You will try to see that is there any competitors, are what are the products that is being sold right now, is there anything which can be done to maintain the growth or reduce the dip. So this is what you will be doing as a data analyst initially when you are working during your, I would say, 1 to 2 years of years you will be working on these things. As you go more of 3 to 5 years mid level, you are going to work on more machine learning, more AI engineering stuff, deployment, cloud, AWS, all those things. And trust me, all these pointers, how do you take a structured approach, I will come to that. Just hear me out, that how your journey looks like. Initial level, people will be telling you to work on this problem statement, give me the analysis of this. And as a web developer, you will be given design, implement this as a web application or mobile application, whatever it is. When you go to mid level, when you have certain number of experience, then you go mostly into deployments, optimizations. How do you think to optimize it further in terms of reducing the cost, reducing the errors, bugs, all those things. And when you are getting into more years of experience, you think about large scale system design. Think about a company like Amazon, Google. How many users are coming there on their platform at a point, at the same point they are, there are like millions and millions of users searching, millions and millions of users interacting with the platform. You need to understand that how it will be sustainable, how you reduce the manual effort as much as possible. The experience should be top notch, and at the core of it you have to manage all the optimizations as well. So as you move towards your years of experience, as it grows, more thought process, thinking, system design that kicks in, right? You think about how the optimized system should be designed. When I say system, it's like you come to a platform, then after that what do you click, after that how, where it should be going, then where data is stored, how data should be stored, how data will be analyzed, everything you will be thinking when you have certain number of experience after once you have start your journey. And at the end, when you go to executive roles, then it's all about the company, how do you understand the industry, what type of new product you are thinking about, because that is how you grow. When you are in executive roles, you don't just think about the current system, you think about what's next, what product should be out there, what all features should be included. So that is what you do it as executive when you have certain number of certain experience. Now what is the point of talking about all these? The overall idea is when you get into this whole career, there is a whole path which you will be taking. It's not like what you will be doing over here, it's going to be repeated for next 5, 10, 20 years. You will have to grow, and there will be larger responsibilities that will keep on coming to you as in you grow, right? You need to be more towards the design, you need to be more looking at everything from a top level view, how any large scale systems should be designed, how millions of people they are going to come and they get a good experience. That's what you kind of get into as you grow. So that there is a growth potential, there is a potential where you can, if you upskill yourself, you will be always relevant in the industry, and you will demand the payment as, or demand the remuneration as per your contribution. So that is where you have the opportunity to grow yourself, you have the opportunity to make your mark in this tech domain, and at the end, as per your contribution, you will be fairly compensated. That's how it works in this industry. It is never going to be a repetitive thing. In fact, Ayman will be joining in just some time, and she will be telling you that not every problem statement is very different. Every problem statement you take, or every problem statement you work on, it's going to be a different journey, it's going to be a different thing, how you approach that problem to solve through code and etc etc. It's never going to be one thing which you will be repeating over and over again. So this is what you guys should be thinking, that if you are getting into tech domain, you should have a very clear understanding, right? You should have a very clear understanding of how you are going to be how you are going to be relevant in this industry over the years, and it's not repetitive. So always you have a potential to growth, always you have if you have the potential to grow, then always you will have a career where you will get fairly compensated over the years, right? Now, talking about, these are the overview level of things which you guys are hearing right now. the future what you look at, right? How things are going to be in the future. But now you should be you have this in mind, that what is the roadmap, how do I start, where do I get in, what all things I should be keeping in mind, right? So that's what the roadmap, that where do I start, what all things I should be doing, and finally how much time it will take overall to get in to the level where you can get placed, or start working, start your journey. So, giving you an overview of the journey. So, overall, to get into IT domain or get into tech domain, specifically data science and web development, if I talk about here, first, there are four things which you have to kind of keep it in mind, right? So, if you start your journey, the very first thing is how, like, AlmaBetter has designed its courses, how AlmaBetter has designed its products, and all those things. What we thought about, the first thing is what companies want right now. What is the requirement of the company? You cannot be like traditional education institutions or infrastructures or colleges which you have been part of. You cannot keep on doing the same thing for 10, 20 years. You have to upgrade yourself. Like in our curriculum, we have to think about what is the requirement of the company, not just right now, maybe in next 1 year, what all things we kind of look at. That is something we have to incorporate in our curriculum. We know that there is a automation part also coming in heavy with intelligence for data science domain. So Gen AI, how do you integrate, how do you implement the machine learning system? So all those things we have to put in our curriculum, so that people are kind of comfortable, and when they go and interview, you are having the relevant skills, right? There are certain things which are basic, you have to do it as foundational, but after that you need to have a very clear understanding that what is the requirement of companies right now, not just playing on your comfort zone of certain things. It cannot go on for 5, 10 years, same thing repeating in terms of the skill set which you will begin. You have to upgrade, and that's what we also think about it. That's how we also kind of upgrade our every program, every cohort which we start. Next is, so this is something which is very important. You have to look for job trends. You have to look for what is the requirement right now. Next is, once you have understood that this is what the requirement is, you focus on the skills that will matter, right? You focus on the skills like Python, you focus on skills like SQL. These two are important as a coding language I'm talking about, and not just limited to this. There are BI tools like business intelligence tools like Power BI, you have Excel, you have mathematics of statistics you need to go through, you need to have a machine learning or understanding. So all those things comes under where these skill sets are mandatory and kind of very fundamental thing which you should be understanding. And that's when you start your journey. Same goes to web development, where you need to understand React, Cloud. These are the important things as a skill which you should be having. Now, these are very top level things. I'll get into the curriculum. I'll talk about these skills in much more detail in just some time. Just giving you an overview that there are skill sets which you need to have when you want to start your career. It's never like that you will start applying and then some company will take you in and then train you and then start the project. That's not how it works. Now you need to have a base level skill set with you, and if that skill set is with you, companies are going to hire you, that's for sure, right? And as I mentioned, right, I'm sure a lot of you might be having this confusion. Okay, I'm from non-IT. If I'm from mechanical engineer, if I'm from XYZ different different domains I have done from different streams, is it going to be beneficial, or am I going to be preferred by companies? So that is something, rest assured, Eamon will answer you that question in just some time. Now, once you have this skill set, you need to have a good portfolio. You need to have a credentials that will stand out. You can take, you need to have certifications. You need to have something which will stand out to show the resume. And once you have that, these two in combination, once you have that, then after that, you can be kind of ready for applying for jobs. Now, it's not that straightforward over there. What we have figured out in past 4 years, where we specialize in first job in tech domain. So AlmaBetter, we always, when we started it, all we figured out was during our journey, when we were working at companies, we were working at managerial level, we were doing interview, we were hiring people, we figured out that people are lacking that structured learning. They are lacking how to explain the concepts, how they are lacking how to apply the concepts. So we started from there, that okay, this is something which we see as lacking for people, and companies are going to take more and more people for these roles. Let's give something as an edtech coming in here, solving for the first job in tech domain. So uh, we are comfortable with tech, we will go ahead with tech, and specifically focusing on first job. So when you start your journey, lot of things are black box for you. Where to start? You will see lot of resources are out there. Of course, AlmaBetter is not just the one. You have lot of free resources, but just one thing which will be difficult, which you might be getting from our website, where you have the learnings what you should be doing. But at the end of it, that structured learning, from where you should be starting, what should be the depth, all those things you have to have a very clear understanding. Other side of it is when you kind of present yourself in mock interviews or in real interviews. How do you present yourself? How do you communicate your findings? How do you communicate your skills? How do you talk about your projects? That is something which you should be kind of good at. You should be presentable in front of interviewer. Then you are in the right zone for any company to hire. So that's what happens at the end. You have what companies want, what all skills you have. Based on what companies require, you build your skills. You take certain things which highlight in your resume, and then at the end of it, you prepare through mock interviews, through personal career guidance, and then you are polished enough to join any company, right? That's how it works in overall. If I talk about the starting point to end point, how do you traverse, right? That's how it works. So it's a long journey. I would not say that it's going to happen in 1 or 2 days or in just 15 minutes. You must be seeing a lot of such kind of promises that it's going to happen tomorrow, it's going to happen in 15 days. It's not like that. You need to spend a certain amount of time of 6 to 8 months, 12 months, to get the idea about what this field is. Otherwise you will keep on shooting in the dark and you won't see any result. So that's what you have to do. First thing is, build that confidence, build that skill, and then only you are going to be preferred. That's how it works. Because at the end of it, if any company is paying you a certain amount, if company is paying you a substantial amount, I would say, they would require the skill set which they can rely on. So that's how it works towards the end. Now, if I talk about the skills more deeply, let's come to that. We will come to that now. So let's say we have this curriculum. You can go through it. It's a publicly available almabetter.com. You can, all of you guys can go there. When you come to the curriculum, because we have given lot of thought over here, how it should be designed, what all things are important for you to start your journey, build your confidence. So this is something which is very very important. This is something which is very very researched thing which we have put it here, right? We have thought about each and everything, which all topics. Because again, if I talk about Python, I see somebody has posted in Q&A that how do you understand, how do you learn Python programming? Now, Python programming, even after 5, 6, 7, 8 years, you won't say that I know 100% of it. So what is that level? Now, for Python itself, if I talk about, you can do robotics engineering, you can do data science, you can do web development using Django. There are different things you can do using Python. So what you should be learning, how much you should be learning, that is something which you have to keep it in mind. You cannot spend 4 years now to skill yourself to get to start your journey. You have a time, you have a limited time, but during that time, what all things you should be focusing on, not just in topics. Now when I talk about these topics, I will come to that. You will see, in if you get into, let's say, one topic, this will also take, let's say, 1 month for you to master. There are so many things over there. So there also you have to take a cut. Okay, this is where I have to be, this much comfort is fine. Later on with experience, I will be upskilling myself in this particular thing. So that's how it is. Let's say for our program, if I specifically talk about the master's degree in computer science, so we have a program, master's degree in computer science, AI and machine learning. So if I talk about this, I have foundation track, so foundation track, specialization track, industry immersion track. Overall degree, if you choose, there are other programs as well. You can explore it by yourself. Come to almabetter.com. You will see a lot of understanding which will give you a direction. But specifically talking about this master's degree, where we cover end to end, which will help you for future career and future growth as well. As I mentioned, mid level, senior level, you will have the understanding and direction to go towards it. So in that case, you have three tracks: foundation, specialization, and industry immersion track. Foundation track, by name itself, there are few modules which you need to know, that is must have. So it starts with introduction to computer programming. Here, if I talk about data science, you have Python. So in Python, there are different things: data types, inbuilt functions and methods, indexing and slicing, etc., etc. These are the must have understanding. And again, as I mentioned, for everything there will be a limit to it, that how much you should be learning, where you should be stopping yourself. That comes under our first module, where you make your command over Python. Then this is something where data scientist or data analyst, they work on a daily basis. They work with pandas, they work with numpy. When I'm saying pandas, numpy, this is not a different language altogether. These are the packages, these are the things which you can use in Python to do the analysis. So if you want to get into data science field, Python is something which with Python you have pandas and numpy, matplotlib, etc., etc. packages which are must have, which you will be using for the analysis. So that's what you learn. And you can see at the end we have data modeling via APIs. Now APIs are something all the companies are using it. So how do you make yourself comfortable? Because in interviewer will be expecting that, okay, what's the level of comfort level you have? Do I have to try and train you another do I have to train you for next 2 3 months to give you further understanding, or do you have the right skills that you can start it from tomorrow? So they will always prefer, if you have the right skills, tomorrow itself you will start working, and you will take very less amount of time to get in comfortable with the system which you will be working on. So that's what your second module is. Then you have third. So here, as I mentioned, Python programming. Then you have the packages relevant for data science. Then you should be knowing SQL. So in SQL, again, SQL is a very vast language, relational databases, non-relational databases, but data scientists, they generally work with relational databases where you have rows and columns. Not getting too much into that, but just understand that SQL is a language like Python, but here you use this to fetch the data from the databases, where you have some data is earlier data was very unstructured. Now why this whole field has kind of grown: the first thing is the integration of AI automation with intelligence. Second thing is, now more and more data is getting structured. Earlier, you can imagine, just remember 10 years back, you must be seeing lot of files in companies, and that's how you imagine any company setup. But now it's all there on the cloud. You will see more laptops and the systems than files, right? Because everything is now digitalized, everything is structured manner may put up in cloud. When I say cloud, these are like AWS, Azure, Google Cloud. There are different clouds, it depends upon company what they use. So there you have data stored. Now from there, how do you get the data? Now for that, there is a language which we call as SQL. So you must have this in mind that, okay, I know Python. Why can't I use Python to get the data? No, that's not how it works, right? For different things, you will have to learn certain tools, certain understanding you should be having, so that you can execute your project, you can solve your problem statement in a best of the manner. So you have this as a third. So this is how you sequence yourself. You get familiarized with Python, then you get into packages, then you learn SQL. After these three, you have a good base of coding, and you have two tools with you which you can use to start analyzing the data, right? Start looking at the insights. Okay, this data, what does it tell me, right? How do I take out the actionable insights and help out the company where I'm working? Because at the end of it, if you're part of any company, your goal will be aligned with the company's goal. Okay, your professional goal, I'm saying, that you will be helping out. Otherwise, then company will get nothing out of it. You have to be there to ensure that you are helping out the company and with the right skill set which you have gotten. So data visualization tools, after you have learned all three, then you get into Excel, understanding Excel in deeper level, Tableau. So Tableau is one of the software which companies they use to create different dashboards to look at the numbers on a daily basis and make data driven decisions. Same goes with Power BI. Now these are the tools, but on top of it, you understand about dashboarding with business KPIs, key performance indicators. So how do you understand business KPIs? What are the advanced charts which you can create? Customer and web analytics. So how do you analyze any customer? How do you analyze the pattern of customer on the website and overall in application? That is something which you learn next. After that, you have applied business analytics. So you learn about statistics. Now here in data science, I have seen a lot of people, they go so deeper into mathematics, they are not able to gain that confidence. This is where I should stop and start applying for jobs. So you should have a clear cut level. Okay, this is where I have enough application based understanding of mathematics. Now I can move forward, as in required I will learn more things, because statistics, in fact, just not, I'm not talking about mathematics over here, just probability and statistics, people do PhD in these domains. So you don't have to get to a level where you are just, going through all the concepts and you don't know how to apply. So that's why here it is applied business analytics, that how do you apply statistics, distribution, sampling, hypothesis testing, business metrics, etc., etc. How do you apply all these in the data science, the projects which you will be kind of working on? And then towards the end, you have automated code execution. How do you create a workflow? As I was talking about the system design, you should have a basic understanding of system, that from here data has been pulled, then you clean the data, then you create some insights over there, then you again put it in the business BI tools like Tableau, Power BI, and you get the insights which your company will be using. Now, at the end of it, we have machine learning and generative AI with Microsoft Azure. So here, machine learning and generative AI, this is something which is, as a fresher, you need to understand to a certain level. But as in you get more experience, you need to have a good understanding of machine learning. Because when you transition from the fresher as a data analyst, when you gain the experience, you get more into predictive. Initially, you give the analysis of why something happened. Now, next phase is when something will happen, or what is the probability of something being, what is the probability of something to happen, right? So that is something which you get into with experience, that you start predicting it. Okay, right now, till today, I have seen 100 people buying my product. Next day, there will be 102. So that number, how do you get as accurately as possible? You are not just guessing it. You are not coming up with intuition. Rather, you are giving that number with data. So that's what you do. That's what, there are algorithms, there are certain things like ML lifecycle, data pipeline, deployment, computer vision. So now data is not just limited to numbers, it has gone to your images and text. How do you work on that? Computer vision is like how do you deal with images, natural language processing is how do you deal with text, and etc., etc. You can see generative AI now. That is something which you need. So foundation track is like where you put yourself for 6 to 7 months and get yourself acquainted with the skills which you would need to start your career. Next is in specialization track. This is like once you start with specialization, this is going to give you an experience of 2 to 3 years, etc. Extra. But as a fresher, you need to have foundation, but as in you get the experience, you need to have the understanding of distributed machine learning, productionization, how you ensure that your machine learning model or the system which you have created, lot of people can use it. Now going to deep learning. So deep learning is where your data itself changes. You have neural network. So this is an algorithm where brain is getting mimicked. So system mimics your brain structure, which we call it as neural network. And how do we use it with images? How do we use it with text and advanced machine learning techniques, which you should be knowing. And at the end, as in you go more advanced, as in you progress through your journey, you have industry immersion track where you pick your industry of your choice and then do the research paper. That's what the curriculum which we have as a degree. in collaboration with Wolf and E&ICT IIT Guwahati. So these three things you are going to go. Now, from your end, what is going to be helpful for you is we have a detailed curriculum over here. This is the sequence. If you follow, you will feel confident about your skills and the topics which you see. These are the important things which you should be knowing. That is what I wanted to give you guys. Now, going to the other degree program. So this is something which I mentioned about AI and ML. I'll give you a understanding of the other side as well. So people generally, they have the choice of, okay, as a, if you are transitioning from non-IT to tech, then in that case, generally people have two different choices. They either want to get into data science or they want to get into web development or cloud computing. Now, it totally depends upon the interest level which you have in coding or the interest level which you have in the business communication, etc. So if you are a little bit inclined towards getting into business and getting applying your tools and knowledges in the business systems, data science is for you. When you want to get into more technical side, you want to get into core tech, then that's when you choose cloud computing as your degree program, right? So that's something which people generally choose. That is how they are going to choose it. So even if you are from non-IT, you can choose any one of these. Just that you have to ask yourself, and that's where career guidance and people from our team, those guys help you out to understand your current journey, understand your current challenges, and give you a direction, because this is something, it's very personalized. Everybody has their own preference, everybody has their own journey, past and the future, how they are looking at. Based on that, you decide either data science or cloud. It's all about, in data science, you will have more interaction with business. You try to solve problem statement, which will ultimately go to a business directly, right? You directly deliver the insights. But in cloud computing, this is a backend thing which ensure that your overall system of website or your applications or whatever it is, that is fully optimized to the core of it. Now, going to the next part where we are talking about the masters in cloud computing, just giving you a brief overview so that you guys can look into it by yourself. So you have over here career, curriculum, and learning track. Again, we have the three tracks. So these two are masters in computer science. Now you have two different specialization. First one I talked about AI and ML. This one is cloud computing. If you want to get into core deep tech, then this is what you choose, right? So here again we have in this case we have 5 modules. In this first module is about JavaScript. We follow here Mon stack, then here design analysis. So for data science, somebody asked in the chat, I saw that how much DSA is required. So for data scientist to start your journey as data analyst or data scientist, you need a certain level of DSA, not too much. But for web developer, when they are getting into when they are in interviews, they should know a certain level of DSA. So for data scientist, not too much. For web developer, you need to have a grasp of it, and not to a level where you are only doing this. Rather, you should have understanding of DSA to the basic of it, sorting, searching, all these topics which you see. And these are some things which we have seen over the last 4 or 5 years. What is the trend? What companies are required? What companies are requiring right now? How they are asking, what all things they are asking in interview. That is something we have seen, and accordingly, we have put all the topics over here. Now, in our third module in cloud computing, you get into front end development. And here also, from the day one, you will see that it has started from basic. So, if you have no experience, prior coding experience, you will start with a very basic, okay, what JavaScript is. And from there, you get into front end development, application, React.js, Next.js. All these are things which you will be learning right now. These terms might look very difficult and high level to you, but when you get into a journey in the course of 6 to 8 months, you see everything will start making sense, and everything, all the terminologies, this will become very familiar to you. So now we have this backend development. You have different Node.js, MongoDB, SQL also. How do you integrate all these in your application? So like this application, almabetter.com, this website is also using certain things. When you click on start application, when you click on watch now, when you click on anything, it gives you some option, something it is presented to you, right? So how it is being designed, so all these things are used over here also. to give you the understanding. And people who are interested in tech side, generally, they are going to be choosing this whole program of cloud computing. So as I mentioned, AI and ML, cloud computing, these are the emerging technologies. Later you will be, so you might have heard about quantum computing right now. Google has launched, not very commercially available, but very soon it's going to be commercialized, and all the companies they would require. So all those things are going to come very soon. We are going to integrate quantum computing in our curriculum. So we are now going to add quantum computing in our specialization, just to ensure, because as I mentioned, our first thing is what company require right now plus what company will require in the future. We need to have we need to give you that understanding at the core. Now, at the end, after backend, you have practical software engineering with Microsoft Azure. This is like you get one step further. You go into cloud platforms like Azure, given by Microsoft, scalable systems, etc., etc. You are going to show it over here. Then specialization track like our AI and ML, you get more into cloud computing. As it is specialization in cloud computing, you are going to go deeper into cloud computing. There are 3 modules. It means 3 months. You grill yourself in learning all these things. We provide you the best content so that you go through each and every nuances. What do you mean by Docker? What do you mean by CDNs? Hadoop, MapReduce, all those things are going to be part of it. Then advanced cloud computing, DevOps, low level design, high level design, all these things are going to be part of it. NoSQL, cloud data stores. So these are going to be your topic skill set which you need in specialization track. So overall journey is in your foundation track. You start your journey, you have a foundation, you can start applying for jobs, you can start looking for jobs as a fresher, as a first time in tech domain. So when I'm saying fresher, it's not just cloud, it's not just from your college you have graduated. Rather it is, even if you are working, you want to get into this domain for the first time. So that's where your foundation will be helpful. And then after that you have specialization track, industry immersion track, which kind of keeps you in track with your growth, right? Because you need a growth. That's when you get a good remuneration, good payment. So all these salaries and everything, that is just an outcome of how much you can contribute. And how you can contribute, having more skill set in your having more skill set with you. If you have more skill set, more contribution you will do. And if you do more contribution, companies will recognize and give you a handsome return in favor of that. And here at the end, you have industry immersion track where you pick your industry and like these and do all the things. So what we have, why I wanted to show all these, so that you understand that how do you start your journey, whatever you want to do. How do you want to start your journey? How do you start it from zero and take it yourself to a level where you are confident about applying for jobs, and then on top of it you're confident about the growth which you will be getting in the future. So that's what the product, that's what the curriculum which I wanted to talk about, skill set specifically which you need to work on. Now this is not it, these are the technical skills which I have shown to you. On top of it, when you come to let's say any program, we have like we have here business communication, profile, resume building. How do you build your resume to the best of it, where it when it is shared with companies, they will look at it and appreciate and kind of select and then take it to a next level, where you have interviews, mock interviews, all these things are done. Then you have technical coding revision. So this is like a career program which we have with master's degree. So you get these skills, you polish those skills for the interviews, and then at the end your resume is getting shared with these companies. So AlmaBetter, as I mentioned, that we are specializing in first job in tech domain. That's how it works. We have a learning where you focus on skills. We have given you live classes, etc., etc., all those things you will get. But at the end of it, the opportunities which you need, the access to companies which you need, that is what we kind of provide. That is what we specialize in. That is something which we want to solve it for next 5-10 years, because we know that that part is very very difficult for the fresher or the first timers to get into. They need to showcase their skill. If you have the skill, you should be sitting for interviews. You should be, your resume should be looked at by companies. That's what we work on, right? That's what we are trying to make our best to it. Okay, so coming back to our discussion. So this is what we have, as I mentioned, credentials. So we have Wolf University. We partnered with Wolf University, and we are providing this degree, which is recognized in global companies. So that credential, it's kind of something which stand out on your resume. Same thing, we have done it with 𝐸𝐸 Guwahati. So that is also something where they have looked at the curriculum, they have vetted it. So it's something where we want to make it as authentic as possible, because at the end of it, if you want to start your journey, you need to get a top quality curriculum, you need to get a top quality guidance, which will ultimately help you out to the final step. Right? That's what something which we are doing, and we will keep on doing. We will make things better and better every day. Now, role of AlmaBetter, more or less, I have already discussed it. We have here Masters in Computer Science, AI and ML, Masters in Computer Science, Cloud Computing, already discussed, globally recognized, re-engineered post-GPT era. Very recently, we have launched our new curriculum. It's a 12 months part-time program with live online. So it's a flexible, but 12 months is something which you have to spend is the best case where you are getting into degree program. Now, apart from this, there are other programs as well. You can definitely go through and you can go to website and explore this further, right? And in both the programs, as it is mentioned, no prior coding experience is required. So here you can choose any one of these, but to choose it, as I mentioned, there are some intrinsic criteria which you should be following, how your journey has been, what are your interests. So for that, you can definitely reach out to the counselors, they will help you out, and at the end of it, it's something which you can decide on for your career, whatever you want to choose, right? But you should be knowing what direction you should be taking over here. Next, key highlights, just I have already mentioned, not repeating over here. You can look at on your screen. So you have live interactive classes, live scout support, 100 hours of practice, coding competition, etc., etc. We have guided projects with mentors when you are in master's program, placement opportunities, access to 1200 companies, etc. These are the things which you are going to be part of. You will be working on it because, as I mentioned, skills and your polishing of those skills, how do you present yourself, all those things combined, it's going to be a no brainer that why you won't be placed. If you have all these things at the right amount, you will get placed. That's what the whole idea is. That's what something we want to kind of propagate, that if you are thinking about getting into this field, first of all, it's not going to be easy. Of course, it's not going to be easy. It is never easy to get any simple job as well. You, if it is simple, you won't be satisfied. So if you are getting into this field where there is a future, where there is a high growth, you need to put in effort. But if you put in effort in the right manner, in the right direction, you will definitely get the result at the end. That's how it works, right? You have to work on your skills, and at the end of it, you will get the result. Next, if I talk about the master's journey at AlmaBetter, so just I'm focusing on right now degree, but as with counselors, you can have a discussion. So you can reach out to AlmaBetter team, and then you can get your doubts cleared to a further level. All these things, it is something which is available to all of you guys. So understand about your career, whether you choose or not, that is all on you guys, but we are going to give the best, and from your end, you should have the clarity to the core of it, that how do you want to take it forward. So like in the case of master's journey at AlmaBetter, as I mentioned, we have foundation track, we have specialization track, and we have a AlmaX. As if I talk about AlmaX, it's a career preparation kind of program which you go through for 1 to 3 months, where you have business communication, how do you make your communication better, where you have resume building, you have mock interviews, you have certain other things, coding competitions. So all those things combined, it makes you more confident about the upcoming real interviews that will come in. And in those real interviews, you will be getting opportunities, and sooner you clear, sooner you will be placed. So the master's journey, here you have foundation track. Once you complete this, you can you are eligible to start your AlmaX journey. And here, if you complete, and then after that, always you can go parallel with your specialization track, all the modules which I was talking about, but parallelly your business communication resume building will go on, and your profile will start getting shared with the top companies. So that's how it works for the master's program, right? That's how we have thought about it, because it's very important to put a line. It's very important to segregate your overall thing as a foundation track, what all things you require to start your journey, then what all things you require to further polish in terms of the future years of experience, when you are going to get into that roadmap, what all things you will be requiring to constantly grow in your career. So that's what comes in specialization track. Then you have industry immersion track, which is a final requirement for the degree which you will be getting. But that also gives you a feel of research paper. You write a research paper under the guidance of the mentors, and then you kind of collate everything as one understanding for one problem statement in a very depth manner, and then you submit it for the degree which you get at the end. So that's what the whole journey. I just wanted to give you a visualization that once you complete the 6 months, you start your career journey where your communication and everything will be worked on, and then you get into the top companies, your profile will be shared, and parallelly you start your specialization in industry immersion track. So that's how your journey kind of looks like. More about this, if you have the confusion, if you want to understand it in a better manner, our admission counselors, all those guys will be there to help you out. So all of these, we want to do it as an initiative so that you understand that it is something which people can take, but you have to go through a journey where you need to upskill yourself. And if you are able to do that, if you put in your effort, result is something always you are going to get. And that is something which I want to now talk about. We have here Ayman. I mentioned to you during the start as well that Ayman Sahai, she is right now at AlmaBetter. She has got job from AlmaBetter. She is AlmaBetter alumni. She has transitioned from non-tech to tech. That is very important because you need to, I'm sure that lot of you over here, you need to have this question in your mind, right? You need to have a question in your mind that whether I am going to be the right person. What are the challenges I will be facing? Is it going to be very difficult for me to take it forward? Right? How I should motivate, I should keep myself motivated to go through this journey. So everything over there that Amen can help you out, because Amen has done it. She has got this. She has started from a certain level, and then after that she gone through this journey and finally achieved what she wanted. And now she has started her career as a data scientist at Western Union. So what worked, how much she has secured, all of these things are here. But most importantly, Ayman will be coming on screen now, and she will be taking you guys to the different her journey and the challenges she has faced. So now I'll welcome Ayman on the backstage. Let me stop sharing my screen. I hope Ayman is over here. Hey, Ayman. Hello.
Hi, hi. Is my trying to switch on my video? I don't
Okay, okay, please do.
know.
Are you able to do it, Ayman? Give some time, guys. Meanwhile, I can take few questions while she will be on screen. Okay. Naina, please come back for module 2, module 3. Yes. Don't worry about it. I am here for all of you guys. So whatever doubts, whatever issues you guys have, please reach out to me. Feel free to reach out. Naina, so I'm sure you are part of the batch, right? I remember your name from my cohort. Uh, Ramya, so may I know who is having 2 years of experience in IT domain? Then it will come under entry level or mid level. Now, when you have 2 years of experience, then it kind of considered as a mid level starting position where you are going to be getting into, Ramya. Okay, so we will take questions further. We have Ayman over here. Hey, Ayman. Hello.
Hi, Alexa. Hi, everyone. Uh, you
Hello.
can you can see me, right? Like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
audible too. Yeah.
Yes, I can see you and hear you, and I'm sure people are also able to hear you and see you clearly. Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
Ayman, so stage is all yours. I will be going out of screen. Please do talk about your journey, your challenges, and how you want to motivate people, because I'm sure people here are kind of thinking about from different domains how they can transition. So please give them the understanding and your own journey in a very clear manner. Okay, thank you
Sure.
so much.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, so hello everyone. I'm in Sahai. I'm a qualified chartered accountant and a CFA level 2, and now I'm a data scientist. So I have about 7 years of experience in the finance domain, where I've worked with financial companies in financial reporting, analysis, etc. In 2023, actually, tech was not something that I had ever planned to do because my field was something different. But in 2023, that's the year when I started my journey. I was actually preparing for CFA, that is Chartered Financial Analyst. That's a US based degree. Um, while preparing for level 2, I came across these changes in my curriculum where they had added big data and machine learning and like data science and all of that. And at that time, I did not know what all these terms meant. And in fact, it was a completely new thing. It was, I was self studying. So I had no one to guide me at that time what these terms and all these things meant. So, YouTube was my savior. I actually went onto YouTube. I started reading about data science, like what this field is, what data scientists actually do. I started reading blogs of different data scientists and videos of, people who have been in this field for 7, 8, 10 plus years, and what is the actual work that they do. And it was really interesting. And there were so many things you could do with data. There were so many things which were very different from the traditional work that I was doing in the field of finance. And with time, I realized how important like this field is becoming in the finance domain. And in fact, I would say not only in the finance domain, data science as a whole is becoming an integral part of any domain that you pick up today. Take be it healthcare, retail, fashion, anything you want to you say it's there. You do some kind of analytics, you play around with data, do so many things, and it has become an integral part of every organization today. So I thought, why not? You know, since it is such an important thing, why not, just try it out, just find out what this thing is all about. So initially, when I started reading all these things, I started getting curious and I started liking it, it captured my interest. So okay, so now that's the first point that I want to come to. I'm sure many of you who have joined this webinar today, you all have read in some part of your journey as a data scientist, or have read about data science and about AI, and those are all the things that are going on today. So you all know about it, but at that time I wasn't like so aware. But the first thing that I encourage everyone is to actually read about what really goes on in this field. And first and foremost is to find out if you have the interest. Now, obviously, if you're starting afresh, you do not know whether you'll have the interest. You don't even know what all things are happening. So you don't know whether you would have the interest in this field. But still read about things that are happening here. And once you start developing some kind of interest in this field, right, the next thing is to find out whether you would have an aptitude for it. Now what I mean is that I'm not saying that one should like first just start out with coding. In fact, I'm saying that okay, now that you feel that there is something interesting in this, just explore what all is needed. Alok sir has in fact given a very good session of 1 hour where he mentioned so many important things which actually I was planning to mention, but now I'll skip it because he's explained it in a very good detail. But for me, like when I started out, the biggest challenge, so I come from a commerce background, so I had zero coding experience, and even in terms of math and statistics, like there was some little low level statistics that we used to do, but definitely not the kind that we do in data science. So these were the two most challenging things for me, and in fact I think most of you who come from non-tech would have a similar kind of challenge. The first and foremost being coding or Python. So what I feel is like, spend a couple of weeks or maybe a month just exploring about coding. Um, what I did was, at that time I was not sure whether I should take up a course because I wanted to find out whether I liked coding or not. So I did a few courses on Udemy, on Coursera, just to, they have these data analytics and data science courses. Now, obviously, these courses will not make you a data scientist, but for me, it was just to get an orientation about this field, like what exactly is needed here, and a little bit starting out of coding, like introduction to Python, very, very basic stuff. And that's what I encourage. If you are starting, if you are a non-tech person specifically, do very, very, very basic stuff in coding, just by writing a simple line of print hello world. I mean, it just do such basic things, like to start out. This just starts, you getting an idea of whether, this kind of stuff is really interesting you or not. Because data scientists, bread and butter, like, is coding. I mean, even with all chat GPT and all the things happening, you must know your fundamentals really well. So spend a couple of weeks just exploring coding, and you don't have to get into the advanced part of it. Just extremely basic things, just to see if you can, you're liking the coding part and all of that, little. After that, after you feel like, okay, I have the interest and I like this coding, it's going on, like, I'm able to understand something, then move on. I mean, I suggest do a structured course. How Alok sir mentioned the whole structure of AlmaBetter's course, for example, because I've also done AlmaBetter. So I needed a structure. There are so many resources out there. You take YouTube, you take these different certifications on Udemy, on Coursera. I mean, there is so much out there. It's really daunting. So if you don't have a structure, you will get lost in the wild. And that's what was happening to me. Trying to make a project just by learning a little bit of Python, a little, intro to ML, it was not possible. And I realized I needed a structure. So that's when once you are like, you feel that this is something you want to do a structured course where there is a step by step flow of what you need to do. Like, from step one you start coding, then you move on to, SQL, like Python, and then SQL, and then along with that start doing projects. That's how I started gaining some kind of confidence. Now, when doing a course, if you are a non-tech person, you are going to take time. It's not going to be easy. It's definitely not going to be easy, because you are learning everything from basics, like starting with what is a variable. So it's going to take time. Even the easy level questions that we do on hacker rank and all, even the easiest ones, sometimes earlier, at the start it used to take me 1 hour 2 hours to solve them, trying to, develop the logic to understanding it. And you get demotivated seeing other people, like how they're able to solve everything so fast, when I'm going to reach there, all these questions are coming, and you start feeling demotivated. But just stick to it. You will you'll question yourself, oh, did I even do it, like, was this the correct decision for me, and all these things. But just stick to it, keep doing it consistently, day over day. Revisit, learn, relearn, unlearn many things, but just do it consistently. And after a period of, say, 2 to 3 months of consistently coding every day, you will start getting a hang of it. Many things will start becoming easier. Like, the questions that were taking 1 to 2 hours earlier will reduce to half an hour, and then 15 minutes. So time will keep reducing as time progresses. So so important part here, what I'm trying to say is, give it time. Don't try to jump like, okay, in 3 months I need to finish that, in 6 months. Or I took a little over a year to actually complete the whole course. So I gave enough time to each and every point, because see, with the new things are coming up each day. Technology is growing so fast. You have AI, you have so many things coming up now that you feel how I'm going to keep up. But I think the fundamental part in each new technology that comes is the strong fundamentals. Even today, when I work in Western Union, this is my first job as a data scientist. Of course, our academic projects are much more simpler than the real world projects. Data is huge. You will have SQL queries going to 500, 600 lines, and it's not, at the first glance, you'll feel it's too daunting seeing so much code. But what I realized is being making the fundamentals strong now, because I have done so much SQL practice that even if I see long join statements, or window functions and all of that in the query, at least I'm able to understand what kind of data they are trying to pull using this particular query. So that's why fundamentals, I feel, are very important. And in that, if you have to spend even 6 months just getting your Python SQL fundamentals strong, it is okay. Like, you should not feel that it's, oh my god, like, when I'm going to finish this, I how will I move on to machine learning? And because I know these thoughts will come, they had come to me, to me also, when I was learning all these things. But it does pay off in the end. So give it time, and do the course. When you finally come to machine learning part, that's where your maths and statistics will help. So spend some time, like, especially in statistics, what Alok sir showed in the curriculum. Spend some time in making your statistics fundamentals also strong, and understanding the intuition behind different machine learning algorithms. That is what is important. Initially, you don't it's the more focus, if is like, even if the classical machine learning algorithms like regression, linear regression, logistic regression, and boosting algorithms, even like, if you can make those strong instead of getting into deep learning, even if those are strong and you have projects in which you have applied those algorithms which are being showcased on your resume, even if you are able to explain one project, but explain it in great depth, like everything starting from data cleaning right to hyperparameter tuning, and why you have used a particular ML algorithm. If you can master even one project and all the questions that go around it, I think uh, you will be really good in your interview. Because what I realized is there are many ways to do work at work. Like, you have chat gpt, you have so many different ways to help you write the code, but you should know what you need to ask. So even in interviews, they try to see whether you can, how your approach is. It's not necessary that you give them the correct line of code, like, everything, the correct hyperparameter, just what you are planning to do. Because the actual things you can Google and you can find out even if you're at work, but you should know what you need to find out also, right? So I think that's the most important part. I would say fundamentals and fundamentals, making that very strong. And I have spent most of my time in doing that, and making some good projects, even if it's 2 or 3 projects, but something to showcase on your resume, and something you should be like super thorough about. So I did that. That was how I spent, and I did spend a good 1 year on this. And after doing that, I started applying for different jobs. And of course, like for me, I needed some kind of, like, I had lots of mock interviews at AlmaBetter, and the mentors, they really helped me, like where I was lacking, and many things I had to refresh. Because obviously, see, another thing is that you're not going to remember everything. Many things you will have to revisit, and again, that should not be a thing that, my god, I cannot remember this, I cannot remember this. I mean, that's fine. Nobody remembers everything. But it's just that if you know how you arrived at a particular thing, even if you're able to explain that, I think that's good enough. The interviewer just wants to see your approach in most of the cases. And of course, coding is important in a way that um, in that also basically they're trying to test your logic building skills. They're trying to see how you approach a problem, and whether you're able to code. A little bit of syntax error here and there, I think it should be okay, except when there are these online coding tests where it becomes important to score a particular mark. But if you're doing live coding with the interviewer, it is okay. Like the approach, the logic building skills, that is what they're testing. So coding every day, at least an hour, do it on a consistent basis, and then understanding the intuition behind different algorithms, having good 2 or 3 projects on your resume, which you are super confident to explain from start to end. That is good enough. Like, and spend a good 1 year over it to do it. And so this is like for non-tech. I would say similar goes even for tech background people. The only difference being that probably your learning journey would be a little shorter because you would have some kind of coding experience. And if you're from engineering, maybe you have a good mathematical background. So that part would be a little easier for you. But if you're learning Python and all for the first time, then again, coding is something that I guess everyone has to keep doing it every day to keep the confidence up. So yeah, and so that's what I did. I start and regarding like my interviews, I mainly got a lot of help from AlmaBetter because they took a lot of mock interviews. We had these intense, I would say, 3 to 4 weeks of coding. They were really intense, but good intense. So I got a lot of confidence doing those 3 to 4 weeks of coding and all of that. And when I got a call from Western Union, they I again had a couple of mock interviews um, with Vikas sir and other few people from Alma Beta, and they really guided me. So yeah, so I think the mock interviews, or even like if you are just able to give an interview to someone who is in the game, you will get confidence as to you because what happens is you say have a good theory knowledge, but when some questions are asked, some analytical questions or some tricky questions, you should just know how you can blend or how you can twist the knowledge that you have to answer those questions. um, so I think mock interviews really help in that from people who are already in the field, who are experienced, because they know, the problems that come up at work, and that's how they test you, like whether how you will behave or what kind of approach you would take in such a situation. So yeah, mock interviews. And so now currently the work that I do at Western Union, obviously that involves now what I learned in this entire 1 year, everything. I use everything. I use Python, I do SQL, I do ML, and I also use Power BI. So everything that I have used, I use it in my day-to-day work. And so I think when we make projects, that is the main focus. I really like making projects because there are so many bits and pieces of things that we keep learning, but projects like kind of assimilates all of that, and you just know that okay, so this is how the flow of my project should be. From start, I start with data pulling, and then you move into cleaning and all the statistical testing and whatnot after that. You know the flow because you have done the project. If you just know the different parts, it's just that you don't know what comes afterward. So that really helps when you move into real world because the data is definitely much 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 larger than this. So yeah, so that's how it is like when you move into real world. um and yeah, so that's my journey. And I mean, I'm sure if you guys have any question, I do want to mention that I have a YouTube channel where I talk about data science, about my journey. If you guys have any questions, you can connect with me on LinkedIn, or request me to make some videos where I can answer many of your questions too. Yeah, thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ayman. It was really insightful. I was listening to your each and every word, and I
Yeah, sure.
kind of, able to visualize, right, that how your journey must have been. You mentioned about first thing you explored, right? You tried to understand whether this field is right for you or not. Then after that, when you started taking the structured approach, then your first step was as a non-tech. It's something I'm sure all of students here from non-tech background, they must have this in mind. Coding is something which they are not comfortable about, and that's the stepping step. Because if you are in tech, that's how you talk to machine, right? You need to have a language, you need to know one language at least to start with, and that is where you have to bring that consistency in picture, right? That
Yeah.
initially it will be tough. There is nothing in this world when you want to get any skill, uh, you won't find it difficult during the starting phase, right? It's always
Yes.
tough, right? Everything you try to start,
Yeah.
but it's all about what's your grit. Like, are you able to sail through it, right? Are you able to think that, okay,
Exactly.
if I'm not able to solve it, can I put 1 hour extra? I'm going to be here and I'm trying to understand until it is clear to me. And if you keep on doing these small things on a daily basis, that is what we call it as consistent, and at the end you will see the result, right? You will
Yeah.
feel more confident after 3 to 4 months. And then at the end you mentioned about like projects, because now you know coding, but how to apply in any problem statement, right? So that's what you should kind of start working on, because that is something which gives you a confidence that, okay, this is what the problem statement which I will be kind of facing. So how do I approach it? So that is where you, as a beginner, you start with a basic things, and then as an you go forward, if you think about the machine learning project which you worked on, or the
Mm.
EDA project which you have worked on, you will have a lot more insights as of now, right? Because now
Exactly.
you have seen
Yeah.
the other side, you will be adding a lot of things on top of it, right? Or the other side is also true, where you will cut down the things where you feel ki, these are not important, maybe I'll focus on only these which are the important ones, right?
Mm.
Both the thought process will come in, because now you have the experience, you have seen the other side of it, right?
Yes.
That's what the projects and the hands-on understanding, hands-on learning which you will be getting, right? And towards the end you should have the confidence about how you will be facing the interviewer, because that is what is required. Starting skills, all those things are there, but how do you present yourself, right? How do you talk about your project? Even if you have done 1 or 2 projects, at the end all that it matters is how are you able to explain it in a clear manner, right? It does
Yes.
not have to be, it does not have to be kind of very no, I would say it does not have to be very in-depth advanced kind of applications. Rather, keeping it simple also, are you able to talk about it?
Yes.
That's what you
Yes.
mean. And at the
Yeah.
end, one good thing is interviewers are also human, right? Because I
Mm.
have part of that. I have taken your interview as well, Eamon, right?
Yes.
Here,
Yes.
so that from interviewer point of view, we are there to kind of look at that. Are you able to think about any problem statement, any question during that time? What direction do you take, right? Are you
Mm.
able to structure it? Are you able to take it to a level where at least you are able to get to a framework of it, right? Not
Mm.
just answering it end to end, but at least you understand what you are trying to do, right?
Yes.
And that, if you are able to give, interviewers are like, okay, good to go, because that is something which lot of people they lack. They're always thinking about, any problem statement they have been given. They will think about the syntax should also be right. I should be writing the perfect code. I should be
Mm.
doing all the things here. This might look very simple. I will add very complicated stuffs over here,
Mm.
but that's not at all required. It's all about speak your mind. Are you able to do that structurally,
True.
right?
Yes. Definitely. Yeah. Very well summarized, I would say.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, Eamon, thank you so much, and we will be taking few questions, because most of the questions here I see it's directed to you, right? So I will be calling it out, and then after that, we will be, kind of getting into few more things which I want to talk about. Let's say, how do you see AI to be kind of integrated in work, and what's going to be the future? Because now you have seen the journey, right? And the all the buzzwords that AI will replace jobs. That is something which we will come towards the end to close the session. The
Okay.
first thing, I think there are a lot of things which you have already answered, like how to understand Python programming. In Q&A, I'm looking at asked
Okay.
by Ranjan. So that you have already mentioned, right? So it's
Mm.
all about every day started from the basic, start with print hello world, and then
Yeah.
you take a consistent approach to a level where you are writing maybe functions, classes, more modular type of code, which will help you out at the end.
Yes.
Right. One thing which I saw over here, that as a fresher, what all important points should be highlighted in resume? So, what do you think? What are your thought
Okay.
here on this?
Okay. So there are two things. One is in terms of credentials, and other is in terms of projects. Now, in terms of credentials, maybe I feel that there should be some kind of certification in data science on the resume. It helps in resume filtering. It gives the interviewer some kind of confidence that you have done something in data science. Um, in terms of projects, uh, on resume, if you are applying, so there are two kinds of job descriptions. One would be data analyst job description, and some would be data science. Now, depending on each job description, you should tailor your resume. So, if these are a data science job, you have to include at least one or two ML projects, and those would be the highlight of your resume. Because you are a fresher, you would be expected to know at least some of the basic things in machine learning. So if you're going to write in your resume some things about, like, what about overfitting or something, hyperparameter tuning or something, obviously the interviewer is going to ask you, and that's where you have to, I feel, impress the interviewer that you know that what you are doing in this project. You have made this ML model, but what are you going to do if this is overfit? Or something like that. If you have used random forest, why you have used X trees and not Y trees, something like that. So I think, if on your resume, for resume filtering, if you're asking maybe some kind of credentials and fresher, so you would have some basic degree and some kind of certification in data science, and in project very specific to the job description. If it's a data analyst one, then don't add a machine learning project. You add something about Tableau or Power BI. And if it's machine learning, then definitely add something about machine learning.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. Correct. So it's all about, so in resume, uh, that's like a mirror of your life. It's one
Yeah.
pager mirror of your life, right? You highlight things like projects. What, like for any role, let's say if you are applying for data analyst role, you need to showcase the best version of yourself as a data analyst, what you can contribute to the company, right? So think about the projects which you can add, any certifications which you have got. That is something in total, if you add it over there, some credentials. If you have, let's say, IIT Guwahati certification, just I'm mentioning over here what you can get. So whatever you are going to mention along with the project certifications, hacker rank, questions which you have solved in a right structured manner, if you put it, definitely all the interviewers and companies, they are going to recognize it. Okay, you have the right skills. And there is one more thing I would say, that people generally, so I have seen it in resume, no projects, when you mention, you have to put in the GitHub link, right? Because that is where people generally, interviewer, they click there, they see the level,
Mm.
how you have written it, how do you have mentioned the readme, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So point is, you have mentioned a project, and on top of it, you are confident enough to give your proof of work. So
Yes.
if you have both the things there, interviewer will have more trust and take it forward accordingly, right? That's how it works. Now, one more thing Kosik has asked: what is the minimum package we can expect from top tech companies they offer after completion of 6 months of course? Now, here I will start, and then even you can put in your words, right?
Okay.
So, I would say, thinking from a package point of view, right? When you are thinking about as a fresher, right? The first thing is to be very honest. Of course, you will have something as a minimum 5 LPA, whatever it is, right? But it's all depend upon your skill. At the end of it, you will be given opportunity, and of course there will not be, as a fresher you cannot expect like a very good salary in the initial days. But that should be not, that should not be your focus during the start. Your focus should be how do you start your career, because then after that you can have a much better opportunities going forward in this whole tech career, I would say. Because that is the first point, is all about how do you get the relevant experience, how do you get the understanding how data science world or web development world kind of works, right? How those, what type of projects you will be working in, that's how it kind of boils down to. Because at the end, skills, if you have the right skills, and if you can gain the experience, this whole journey is going to be high paying, this journey is going to be high growth career, I would say, at the end, right? What are your views over here, Ayman?
Yeah. So, definitely for a fresher with zero experience, I think 6 lakh, 8 lakhs would be a starting package, depending on which company you're going to. Um, in my case, I got a good package, like 15 to 20. The reason being was because I had certain conditions in which I wanted the placement, because I had, like, about 7 years experience in finance. I was moving into a financial company, and they had that, I mean, that possibility was there. That was my requirement, and I wasn't sure about it until I gave my first round. So I think after the first round, after the second round, when they were quite confident about me, I got a good offer. But I think on a realistic way, if you're just starting out as a fresher, about 5, 6, or to 8, depending on which company you go to.
That's how it works, right? That's how, because see, at the during the first time when you will be kind of joining the company, right? You will have a lot of reality checks, right? And that is something which I want to get into. First thing is, you will see that system is always like there will always be scope of improvement, right? First you will be learning things, you will spend 1 or 2 months kind of getting the hang of it, right? Although you will have a foundation understanding, you will be able to understand, but it will take you 1 month to get yourself familiarized. Now when you get to that level, then you understand that AI and all these buzzwords, right? What you hear, uh, it's so difficult for AI right now to automate your work, right? As a data scientist in tech career, it's so difficult because people generally they look at from other side of it and say कि all jobs will be automated. Data science will not have any job, or a cloud developer or web developer, they will not have any job. So at the end it all boils down to the reality check which you will be getting when you join the company, how complex the system is, and how it is kind of optimized, considering the human in place, right? Human in loop, and lot of different nuances are there. So I want to understand from you, Eamon, that given that your experience at company, what are your views on whether AI will replace jobs and how it's going to be in tech industry?
Okay. See, honestly speaking, companies' workflows are quite complex. It's not as easy as we think they are. Like, okay, this company does this particular work. It's not that it's a simple workflow. To understand, companies operate in different regions. Every region has different kind of regulatory requirements, compliances. Um, that's from a regulatory point of view. Then you think about the leadership team, the stakeholders. They have a different view about the company. That depends on how the company is performing. Their business problems change very frequently. Sometimes you're working on a particular thing, and then new developments come in the market, and now the problem statement changes, and then you have to change according to that. And along with that, you need to be aware of all the other regulatory and other changes, environmental changes and whatnot. Today's every big company needs to take care of so many other things. So it's not going to be a simple thing where an AI can understand all these nuances. Solving a problem statement from a business point of view is not just about writing some line of code. It's about understanding the whole business perspective, and that's not something that AI can do so easily. It has many factors to consider. So just simply saying a simple thing like AI will take over, no. AI may help you. I think it's like an assistant. It will help you automate many of your regular tasks. And that's how you should consider AI, making your tasks easier so that you can focus on the bigger problem statements. And I think that's the best use of AI in today's world.
Correct, correct, correct. It's going to be your friend, it's going to be with you. It will make your job easier compared to what it was earlier. But then you have a different side which you have to think about. Because for any problem statement, there are two axes for it. This is a very famous kind of quote mentioned by a few top people who are in AI engineering. So they mentioned that for any problem statement in company, there is a x-axis and y-axis. In x-axis, you have all the tools and everything which you use. So one of them is, let's say, you have email or Gmail, you have coding languages, you have all those tools which you use to fulfill the y-axis, which is the human interaction, interpersonal things. So problem statement is all about you solve the problem statement to solve for the interpersonal skills, right? At the end, there will be a product, people will be buying it. There will be something at the at services product. There will be certain thing, and through that, a company will get the revenue. Then people are there inside of it, employees are there. So there are human in loop. That is something which you solve as a problem statement, and all the tools are going to be in x-axis. Tools are always going to be better and better, right? Tools are going to be something which you will be using. Let's say right now it's an email, you can use chat gpt. With that, it helps you do the things, execute things faster. So point will be that your x-axis will have more advanced intelligent system, which will make your overall job easier, and you will have more complex y-axis of interpersonal skills, right? Interpersonal relation. So that's how it works. So if you have tools and everything sorted, you will have more complex problem statement to solve, right? You will have more aspiration also to kind of work on. So that's how it works. It's never going to take the job. Specifically, if I talk about the tech side of it, if non-tech roles are going away, people will generally there will be a shift to tech roles, right? In tech roles also, there are a lot of roles as a data scientist, as an analyst, IT support. There are multiple different roles. At the end, people will start transitioning to this, right? People will start getting into this side where they are in tech, using tech, they are solving the interpersonal skills. So that's a very interesting thing. It's an interesting idea which people, like a lot of people, they have presented, because it's not like when chat gpt came, not a lot of people is required, right? People are not required. For temporarily, they are not there in the system, but they have to upskill, they have to learn those tools and come back and solve for interpersonal skills. Right,
Yes, I think, and that's a very important thing, like upskilling as in continuous learning, I would say.
right,
That's something like it just doesn't stop here. And in fact, to stay in the competition, to stay in this line, it is important to just keep learning. And that's why I always stress, and that's what I did for myself, that to make the fundamentals really strong, because after that, whatever new tech comes, it's much easier to understand if you just know how your basics work.
right, exactly. Now, one more very interesting thing people have asked. So, let's say you have 7 years of experience you had, right?
Hmm.
Uh, was that considered during your interview, right? Did you add it in resume? How does that work? People want to understand. So, what is
Sure,
your
sure.
that?
Yeah. So definitely I mean, I added that in my resume. Um, I added the part, I added it in a way that aligns with the job role. So if I have done financial analysis when I applied, I did add the analytical part of it, what kind of analysis I have done in
Mhm.
finance. Um, some independent projects that I did, I added that to those two, all aligned to what they are looking for. So if you have done even a little bit, if you have say 10 years of experience for example, and you have done some kind of work in that, if you can somehow align it with the current job role, then I you must add it. I'm not sure how much they considered, but definitely they were interested in what my previous work experience was and what kind of analytics work and all I have done in the past. Because some amount of time in the interview was spent on understanding my previous work, and after that they moved into the ML project. Like I had to explain the ML project and all of that. But strongly, if you are previously if you have prior experience, do mention it and just tweak it a little bit to align it with the job description.
Correct, correct. Exactly. That is what I would also suggest everyone, that if you have worked, see, so I'll just compare somebody who is still in college or college fresher. You have understood, let's say, technical skills, everything you have. But when you join a company, there is a touch of professionalism that comes in picture. How do you collaborate with team? How do you bring professionalism in your output which you are going to give? Output, when I'm saying whatever is required, you give the output, right? you share the analysis or whatever the job requirement is. That professionalism is always rewarded. It might not be considered as relevant years of experience for data science or web development, but that is definitely something which gives any interviewer a surety that you have got all these, right? With years of experience, you have understood how professional world works. It's not like you can just do things in 5 minutes, right? You have to give a touch, you have to bring that professionalism, you need to interact in a certain manner with different teams, you need to collaborate for the project, you need to respect everybody's area as well. So all those things you learn when you join a company and work at any level, right? Even if you have worked in very different role where you don't have anything relevant, let's say related to data science or tech, then also you learn these basic things. So that's why we always mention that please add these in your resume. Now, how do you talk about it, how that helped you in this, how what all things you saw there which motivated you, that's the story which you have to build it over there.
Yes.
That's how you
Right.
guys have to take it up. Great. Now, one thing which I can see, Naveed has asked, what are the key things to keep in mind for a business analysis job role? So, I mean, you have already mentioned it. If you can summarize, if you can give some pointers over here.
Um, okay. So business analysis, I would say now this is mostly focused on, there are two things. One is technical skills, and one is analytical or critical thinking skills in this. So in business analysis, um, generally a case study is normally given. I think like for they would give you a case study and they would try to see how you're critically thinking through it. That is one of the main focus. Apart from that, now business analysis, different companies write different ways.
Okay.
Some require Python, some don't require, some just require SQL, but definitely they require some kind of BI tools, be it Looker Studio or Power BI or Tableau or Excel. Excel is in fact one another very important thing. So again, in business analysis, it's more focused towards the analysis part and less towards coding part, like pure coding part. So I think we are preparing for a business analysis job. The first is like preparing on case studies and trying to think more critically in a more analytical way. There are many videos also that talk about like on such case studies. Do watch them. And in terms of projects, more projects would be focused on projects that involve Power BI, Tableau, and Excel.
Correct.
It's
Correct.
yeah.
Right. So here, if I talk about, let's say, business analysis, right?
Hmm.
People are generally very much confused about, they will see risk analyst, marketing analyst, right? Product analyst, data analyst also. So what are these, right? So generally, I will give a very brief understanding about this so that everybody, kind of understands like how to look at these roles. So at the end of it, all these things comes under data analysis as a field, right? Data analysis is also a sub part of data science as a domain. So in data analysis, when you are working with, let's say, marketing team, you might be using all the tools, Python, SQL, other things, but you're working with marketing team to help them understand which channel they should run ad on, right? Where there is a better ROI. So when you're working with marketing team, you will be called as marketing analyst. When you're working with business team, right, so you will be called as business analyst, but business analyst. And when I say business team, it can be CXOs, or higher management, or you are working with a business development team, sales team. So all those things are all those teams comes under a business team as a whole. When you work for them, when you try to analyze different aspect around maybe revenue, maybe customer journey, maybe different types of leads coming in, when you analyze those, then you are generally called as business analyst, right? On top of it, as Ayman mentioned, right, here when you are working as a business analyst and when you are working with executive CXOs, they think more about how they should expand their business, in which market they should be going into, right? So all those things when comes in picture, it's all about case study. You look for external resources, you look for internal data, try to make a sense of it, and then finally present that this is what you have gotten as an analysis. So business analysis, at the core of it, you need to have a case study like Eamon mentioned, right? there will be different requirement over there. Most of them, they require basic coding and understanding always. Python or SQL, they would require that at least you have the basic understanding, so that when time comes, you should be able to implement or write codes and get the data at the end, right? Or data analysis or whatever insights you want to get. So that's how it is. So what are the key things if I talk about? First thing is, you should have the understanding of case study, structured approach to the case study. And second, you should have basic understanding of coding. And third, which I have not mentioned, is how you present. As a business analyst, the communication is very important. How do you communicate your thoughts? Because you will be working with person who has no understanding of tech. If you talk about, this is how you code, this is how I write code, this is I have written 100 lines of code, 500 lines of code, they would say this is not something which I'm interested in, right? Give me the at the end, what is the crux of it, what should I do, what are the insights, right? That communication is a very big factor as a data or as a business analyst, I would say, right? When you work with product analyst, little bit lesser on that. In communication is always a biggest factor in data science. That's what I would like to mention. But at the core of it, business analysis is something where you need the most, right? So that's
Yeah.
something which I would like to mention. Now, business analyst job through AlmaBetter. Now, one more thing, I think that's going to be our last question. So people are generally asking about, they have, let's say, applied by themselves. They have not gotten any response. So what are your views on that? How do you see as a fresher? They should be, kind of thinking about applying for jobs. What are the best practices you feel? And again, at Alma Better, how we help, how we help student out. If you can put something on that, so that people are also in line with how what they can expect at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first I'll talk about Alma Better, and then I'll tell you if not through Alma Better, then how else also you need to apply. So with Alma Better, it's like they definitely help you with all your resume building. My resume was fully built using Alma Better's design and the template and all of that. And in resume, what all you add, I think with Alma Better, it is like because they make you prepare a couple of resumes for different job roles, you get different types of what do you say offers, like different types of openings. Now, those openings will mainly depends on your like if you have previous experience in the data field that will be added and many other things like depending you have what skills you are good at because we go through that full journey of coding and this and that, so many things are considered, but definitely depending on your skill set and depending on different parameters, they have multiple job roles in the field. I think mostly they are in the field of data analyst, business analyst, and few so in data science I would like to say fresher roles honestly are much less. As freshers, as a data scientist, they are much less. But as data analysts, business analysts, and similar roles, there are much more. When starting out, data and as a data analyst is also a good thing to start because you get familiarized with working in a company, with working with data, and then as and when you gain some experience and all that, you can move ahead into a data science role. So at Alma Better, yes, in resume preparation, sending it out to different companies, and then they prepare you for the interviews. So it all depends on the end how you perform at the interviews. But there are opportunities. Now, apart from that, if uh, you must apply on your own organically also. Now there are multiple areas where you can apply. You apply through Naukri, you apply through LinkedIn. Now, the issue here is many people are applying for the same thing and you'll just get lost in the wild. So, I think the best way is to, especially on Naukri, you have to keep your resumes updated. Now, in that, like I said, some projects, some really good projects. Now, when you're applying for jobs, you have to see particularly what happens is we send the same resume for all the jobs. Now that doesn't work. Many times you need to tailor your resume specific to the specific job descriptions. So when applying to a particular company, see the job description, make some tweaks, add some keywords, and apply for those jobs. If that's something that you really like, then head over to LinkedIn and then try to contact their HRs or someone in the company who can refer you. So, generally, when you're working or when you're trying to apply on your own, it just doesn't end with an easy apply button or just apply one resume to all the different jobs. It needs to be tailored and it takes time. It definitely takes time to tailor your resume for each and then contacting the relevant people or through LinkedIn. That's why LinkedIn networking is really important. Um, contact those people, someone you may know, someone you may not know, and try to, contact them and try to see if they can give you a referral. Now, that process is, it can take time, it can get frustrating, but I guess the only way is to, uh, you know, stick at it. And another thing is like side by side, you can do it through AlmaBetter. They keep coming up with some or the other job offers. You can see whichever you like, you want to sit for it, give the interviews, and decide on whether you want to go for it or not.
Right, very rightly put over here, Ayman.
Yeah.
So as a fresher, see, we came in picture just for this first job in tech domain, right? That's what we are focusing on. That's what we are kind of solving it, and that is where we realize that as a fresher, it's not impossible, but it's difficult, right? When you start applying for jobs, when you go and blindly do it, it's difficult to get the reply. It will take time. It will take 3 4 5 months. You have to keep on doing it. It is not going to happen in one day. You applied for 10 companies and tomorrow you are expecting the reply. It's never going to happen, right? It's a process. You have to keep on doing it. Now this is not enough. You have to reach out to people to refer you. That is the next step, because as a fresher you are going to apply, and if your resume is not meeting the criteria, they will prefer somebody else over you. But if you have a referral, if somebody is referring you, then you will get the opportunity to give an interview and then take things forward. If you have the right skills, of course you will clear that.
Yeah.
Now at other side of it, Alma Better right now, we from our end, we are solving this. We try to reach out to different companies, make them our hiring partners, and that's what we want to solve. That for you, you focus on your skill, you focus on your developing yourself, polishing yourself, making yourself more confident. We'll give our best to give you opportunities. That's what we try to kind of push it during the end of it. When we see that you are now confident enough, you are ready for the next phase, that's when we start sharing the resumes with hiring partners and etc etc, all things. Of course, we always kind of mention that you keep on applying, because at the end of it, both the you also want the job, so at the end of it you will also go and apply. Keep on doing this for from yourself. Keep on applying for jobs, because you have the resume, you have the confidence. Why sit down and wait for? So keep on applying. But Elma Better will give you opportunities from its end, help you out with interviews, with last mile assistance, PIP, so on and so forth. You know it, Ayman, right? It's
Yeah.
something which is not directly straightforward that you share it,
Yeah.
you got it, and then it's fine. No, you will, once you are, we have given you opportunities, you are getting rejected, then what next? Should you be just sitting out there and not improving yourself? No, somebody will be connecting with you. There are buddy sessions, PIP sessions, there are other things which we have to put in, because if we want to solve it, maybe it's not solved right now 100%, but next 5 years it will be better. Next more 5 years, if I add, it will be at a better position. So that's what we are kind of striving towards. More and more companies we are getting on board, because they also trust on us, because they understand that whatever resume they are getting into, so from companies, and also they are finding it difficult to shortlist from other platforms. So let's imagine that they have put an opening on LinkedIn. Immediately you will see 700, 800 people have applied already. Right now, for
True.
them it's so difficult to boil down to few set of resumes which they find is relevant, right? And that also, they are not confident, right? They have to do it for 2 3 months, then they close the opening. That's how it happens. And then also, when you are shortlisting it, they will send out the test. There is a cost involved, there is a lot of time being put by the team. Instead of working on the project, they invest a lot of time over here for the interview, etc. So now companies, they prefer companies like us, right? Ed tech companies like us, because we give a structured learning. They can rely on the projects, they can rely on the level of skill which students have. And then they try to think that, okay, I'm getting the resume, I will expedite the process, and I'm going to you know get the people on board very soon, right? So for them it becomes a very easy experience, I would say. So that's what we pitch to companies, that see, you don't have to worry, we will give you relevant resumes, we will give you relevant candidates, you will close your opening sooner, right, than you expect from outside. And for students, of course, it's a it's something which you will get at the end, the value of it, that how much it is required to have these kind of opportunities and connection, which will at the end help you out.
Right.
All right. So I think that is all. Of course, we have covered a lot of things, and you
Yeah.
have more than 1 hour, Eamon. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking out of your time, that too on weekends. I'm sure
Yeah.
you have to release your overall weeks. The effort which you have put in, you need the time off. So that's where we are going to take ourselves off from the stage. Thank you so much, Eamon.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Everyone.
And I would like to add that if people have more questions, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Ask me, I'll make videos and try to solve everyone's queries wherever possible.
And it's a great thing that you have started contributing to community, right? Please guys do
Yeah.
check out the YouTube video, because at the end of it, it's all about how do you communicate, how do you contribute to this community, right? Because there are a lot of buzzwords, there are a lot of things people are generally very confused about, right? Everybody has their own way of own perception around how things should be. But if you kind of get all these from a relevant person, you get that confidence. Okay, same journey I can also follow. I can
Hmm.
uh, take Ayman as a role model. So that's something which all of you guys should definitely check out, right? That's how it should be. And if you remember, Ayman, we always mentioned that in introduction, talk about short-term goal and long-term goal. And I
Yes.
always mention that in long-term goal, please mention that I want to contribute to the community, because
Hmm.
that is something which will be kind of mutual. You will also grow, and somebody will look at you and take your step and find the result at the end.
True. Yeah. All
So
right.
thank you
Thank
so much. Thank you, Eman.
thank
Again,
you.
it's
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. Okay. Thank you,
And
everyone.
thank you so much. So, guys, here we have admission counselor. If any questions we have left, if you want to take it further, then Pratiksha will be joining, and you guys can ask any question you have. We will come out of the stage, and you guys, Pratiksha, just give me 1 minute. Hey, Pratiksha.
Yeah, hi everyone.
Hello, hello.
Hi Alok. Yeah.
So, guys,
So,
Pratiksha is here from AlmaBetter team. She's admission counselor. All of you guys, if you have any doubt, if you want to reach out, if you want to get one-on-one counseling where you can understand that based on your past journey and current status, how you should be proceeding forward, what's the right approach to this, Pratiksha is going to take you guys further. Thank you so much, everyone. It was nice interacting with everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Take care, guys. Enjoy your weekend further.
yeah, thank you, Alok. Yeah, thank you. So, hi everyone. My name is Pratiksha and I am from the admissions team. So, today we are going to discuss about several things. I hope this session is really, really helpful for you all. And Alok and Ayman have shared her experience with us, where we are going to discuss about several different things about Alma Better. So before starting about that, so do you have any questions related to the course, the curriculum? So you can write it down in the chat box, and one by one, I'm going to answer all your queries, right? So let's just quickly start. I'm going to show you Alma Better's dashboard as well, where we will going to learn that how Alma Better course structure is there and how we are helping people to get good placement from our side. Secondly, we will going to discuss about discounts and all as well till the end. So I request all of you to stay till end. So we will be going to discuss so many things in detail, and according to that, you can take the decision, right? So let's just quickly start, guys. Yeah. So I hope my screen is visible to you all. So basically, how we are helping people. So Alma Better is providing a job guarantee program where we offer two courses. One is the data science program, other one is the web development program. So in both the courses, we have two parts. One is the certification course, other one is the master's degree program. So in certification, we are collaborated with IIT Guwahati, and if you are looking for a master's degree, so we are having with the Wolf University, right? So I am going to give you in a detail about the separate certification and the master's degree as well. So let's see that how it works. Yeah. So we have a group of people where you are going to learn together. So approximately there will be a 40 to 45 students in one batch. For certification, if you are choosing a master's degree, so there will be a lesser than that. Yeah. Then you will be doing a project in a team, and then you will be getting a ready for the job. So basically, how your journey look like. For example, we have you can say 65% of the people who joined Alma Better are from non-technical. So basically, we have working professionals with us, we have students with us, we have a freshers with us. Even I'm going to show you the profile at the end where the people is having a gap years and still they are landed with a package, right? Where the good package, where you will be having like the base package fees. As Alok mentioned, we have a 5 LPA, that is the base package you can expect after the course as a fresher. But yeah, if I talk about like the experienced one, so the package depends upon your last run. Yeah. So here we purely provide a live sessions. So basically we have this curriculum where we are covering everything from scratch to the professional. For example, if someone is coming from non-IT background, right? So I hope you have a question in your mind, will be I able to cope up with this IT background, because I don't have that IT field with me earlier. So definitely yes, because we are covering everything from scratch. So let me give you one example how our classes are, right? So we have, for example, if someone is from BCom background, right? So we are covering basics, we are covering intermediate, and then we are covering advanced level, where you will be know the roots as well, that where Python has been started. So everything will be in detail. And even we do have separate doubt solving sessions as well. So if you have any doubts, anything, you can have a one-on-one session with the trainer where they are going to give you one-on-one doubt solving resolution, right? Then we are having this 100 plus live sessions where you will be getting a lifetime access to the recorded lectures. So basically, all the lectures are live. In case if you missed any session, even you have attended that session or you want to see that recording, so that recorded lectures will be with there till lifetime. So in case if you're planning, for example, you got a job as a data analytics and as a fresher, right? And then later on you want to upgrade yourself into data science, so at that time you don't need to purchase the course again. You have access, you can write it down and you can prepare for the interviews, and accordingly you can move forward. So this is the, you can say, benefit that you are getting for the recorded lectures. Then in the entire session, we are having this 24 capstone here it is 20, so exactly it will be 24 capstone projects where you will be getting 1,000 plus coding problems as well. So basically capstone projects will be there where we ask student to complete at least minimum 4 projects that they are eligible to sit into the placements. So total will be 24. Out of them, 4 projects you need to do. That is a mandatory that we ask for. And you will be getting, after every session there will be a coding assessments and coding problems will be there. So later on I'm going to show you all this on the dashboard as well for a better understanding, right? Again, as I mentioned, we have daily doubt solving sessions, that is with the one-on-one mentorship. You have an option to book a one-on-one mentorship session as well, that is with a data science professional, where you can discuss about job, anything like academic counseling, resume building, anything that you want to discuss. Then as we are having the mock interview, so there will be a mock interviews 50 plus. Then we, as I mentioned, we have 100% job guarantee program. So this guarantee word, how it works, right? So basically we have certain criterias. If you fulfill all that, so definitely you will be landed with the job. Secondly, we are having a 700 plus partners where we have MNCs, we have startups as well, we have mid-level MNC. So you will be getting so many things in our course, right? So till now, guys, any questions for me? Any questions? If you have any questions, you can write it down in the chat box, and at the end I am going to explain further. Yeah. So let's go back to the topic. So this is about the technical, this is about the learning activities that we have. So we have live lectures, we have lab experiment, we are covering projects and assignments, and there is a special group discussions that held on a Saturday. So in a month there will be 2 Saturdays where you will be communicating with your classmates as well. So there will be proper interaction. Whatever you need to discuss, you can. Then we will be having one-on-one mentorship and special guest lectures with IIT Guwahati professionals. So this is particular that you are getting a theoretical knowledge, you are getting the knowledge who are working professionals as well. Then we are having this community participation where you will able to see a lot of our alumni. You can connect with them, you can take advice, and whatever need any help, you can just join that. Then we are having this mandatory for AlmaX. What is AlmaX basically? AlmaX is our placement drive where we will be like, you need to complete certain things. Like as I mentioned, you need to complete a there is an exam called ABCAT exam that is mandatory for certification. Like if you are opting for, if you are planning for this certification course, so there is an exam called ABCAT exam. I'm going to show you in detail what exactly it is. So this is a examination which is based on your 6 months journey. So Alok have already covered this. So I'm just rehydrating all the things. So basically, we have two parts where you need to complete a foundation track. So once you're done with your foundation track, then you need to give AB CAT exam, which is purely based on your foundation track, whatever you are learning in 6 months. According to that, that exam will be there. Once you clear that exam, then only you will be allowed to sit into the placements, right? So this is the eligibility criteria that we will be having. Or if you're choosing a master's degree, so you don't need to give this paper. So this is a perk again. If you're choosing a master's degree in data science, so you don't, that is not a compulsory examination for ABCAT for the master's degree student. So this is a perk that you will be getting. And if you are from web development, so there is no need to like give this ABCAT exam. Like once you've done 2 to 3 modules as well, if you want a placement from our side, definitely you can sit directly into the placement. So that is special opportunity given to the master's people, not for the certification, right? I hope this much is clear to you all. Then these are our partners. We have 700 plus hiring partners with us, where there are number of companies: Accenture, Tech Mahindra, KPMG, JP Morgan. So we have a lot of companies with us. So definitely you will be getting, you can say, a lot of resources from our side where you can expect a good package. Even if I talk about our average package, that is 8 to 9 LPA. Yeah. So if someone see, this graph is basically for the people who are just a fresher, right? So this is our average package that we can provide if you are having a good experience with you, even in the different fields. So that package depends upon your last round. Whatever you are holding on the last round, that depends upon that. This graph is particularly for the fresher people. Yeah. Then we are having this like, let's talk about the instructor and the mentor. So we have a working professional people with us who are going to teach you, where you they will get the industry expertise added. Secondly, you will be getting, right now the Alok like Alok has taken the session, so he's also a part of your journey. And several session is taken by Alok as well. So we have another co-founder, Vikas Srivastava. He is also a part of your instructor. So basically, you will be getting so many things. And even we have IIT Guwahati lecturers are there, where they are taking a special guest lectures with you guys. So basically, can you see three advantages that you are getting if you are enrolling in AlmaBetter courses? Yeah. So these are the mentors that we are having on our platform. So you will be getting, you can say, a lot of knowledge with from them, where you will be adding in your profile. Yeah. So this is the success story again. So there are so many students. You have just met one of our alumni, Ayman, right? She have shared a lot of things. So apart from Ayman, we have a lot of other people with us where they get successfully placed, even having a non-tech background, and even having a very, you can say, a fresher, they are also taking a transition. So basically, if you are planning to move into IT, you are securing your job, in short, right? So till now, guys, any questions apart, we're going to move ahead and discuss about the student dashboard. So any questions for me? You can reply in the chat box, guys. Any questions regarding the curriculum, if you want to discuss anything? I'm waiting for your, like, another 30 seconds. Will go ahead. So any questions related to the package, related to the curriculum, related to the live sessions? Uh, Hi. So your question is, I am pursuing master's degree. My question for you is that how Alma explain a role to get a job. So basically, if you are a master student, so as I mentioned, right, so for master's degree student, we don't have a compulsory ABCAT exam. So how for the student, you have a two options, right? Your how your curriculum looks like. It will be a 12 months program where you need to complete mandatory a foundation track. Once you complete the foundation track, definitely you will be giving your ABCAT exam. So in masters, we have removed that ABCAT. So you don't need to appear for any ABCAT exam. You can directly sit into the placement where your resume building, interview preparation, mock interviews will be get started. So that important Almex is what it is, our placement drive name basically. So hi Kaushik. So you are a 6 months. Yeah, definitely. See, you will not be considering as a fresher, definitely, because you are already having a 6 months experience. But yeah, for data science field, it will be considered. It is not like we cannot show the gap of 6 months. So that experience of 6 months, that will be counted. And we'll see about the package as well when you are applying for the company. So definitely they will see the package that you are holding in a 6 months of the experience. What about others, do you have any questions for me? You told we have some criteria for giving an interview. So what are the so basically, Niti, we have criteria where for the certification course we have a mandatory exam where you need to complete like ABCAT exam. What that ABCAT exam, that is nothing, it's just whatever you are learning in a 6 months journey. So basically, see, we are providing 100% guarantee, right? So everyone having the same question, like how we can provide a job guarantee to everyone. So there will be a certain criteria where if you are enrolling for certification course particularly, so you need to complete at least 4 projects out of 24. You need to do assignments. Then you will be having your ABCAT exam where you need to score at least 60% to sit into the placement. See, every company have a different criteria, right? So we are taking an examination. On the basis of that, we are going to allow you to sit into our placement where we understand which field you are going to have a good skill set. Even we can bifurcate everyone. For example, if you are taking a course of data science, right, so understand one thing, everyone cannot be best in everything, right? So maybe that your part will be good in some Python or a SQL, right? Other people have a good part in machine learning. So according to the company's requirement, we segregate the people. So this is a very important exam where we can actually know how the people are serious about this course. Secondly, how you are serious about the job. So that's why the criteria has been set. Okay, so you have, so definitely you will not going to take we will not going to like, you will be not going to treat as a fresher, definitely not, because you almost have a 14 years good experience with you. So you are considered, you are taking a career transition, right? So your 14-year experience will be counted definitely, but it will be from the non-tech role. So where you can, once you are planning to a data analytics or a data scientist, so it will be a career transition basically. So in what time frame we have completed that AB? AVCAT exam. So basically, that AVCAT exam that you are completing, so that is like you will be having a, you can say, a foundation track. Once you complete the foundation track, so you will be getting enough time of that. So you can say there will be like a particular dates are fixed for that AVCAT exam, where you will be getting a schedule once you enter in the foundation track. So when you are in the end of your sixth module, so there you will can see the dates where you will be getting 3 attempts for this AVCAT exam for certification. So maximum attempts, you can say, it will be three. If in case after secure the job, is that see, there are a lot of people who are doing a master's degree with us, right? So definitely they are like side by side. You will be getting the degree, and side by side you will get this a job as well. So a lot of people, how they plan their course, they take a course with us where after 6 months they take a job. Side by side, you can do a master's degree, because that master's degree is basically you can say a self-paced, where you can complete the course, and once you complete the master's degree, definitely you will be getting advantage of it. But yes, if you got a call from Amazon, so definitely you can try and you can sit into the placement. If you secure the job, then continue, you can continue your degree as well, because that is again that's a part time till when we have to submit the capstone project. So basically there will be a time limit. See, everything have a time limit. So we offer proper 6 months course where we provide you 6 months extra to complete that. If you fails to complete your thing in 1 year, right? 6 months is the course duration, and 6 months we are giving you extra. In case if you fails to complete in that 1 year, then we won't allow you to sit into the placement. First, secondly, if there is a something specific reason behind it and that is really genuine, and you have that documented with you, so in that cases we definitely consider. But yeah, in most of the cases, if you fails to uh, complete that, then we won't allow you to sit into the placement. That is our basic criteria basically. If you have some specific reason, or if you have some medical emergency, in that case, if you have a proper documentation with you, then we can give you little extension on that. So apart from this, anyone, do you have any questions for me? So Kaushik, I have already answers. Okay, so let's go ahead, guys, and I'm going to show you the dashboard, and you can see that how the dashboard look like, and accordingly you can plan, right? So this is basically a certification dashboard, where this is a home page where we have three courses. One is IIT Guwahati certification, other one is the normal certification with AlmaBetter, and we have a Wolf University degree, right? So this is a 6 modules where we are covering in 6 months, where we are teaching you from basics to the professional, starting with Python, then we have SQL, Power BI, Tableau, machine learning, and then we have GenAI as well in our courses. Then we have, this is a practice coding assessment that you will be having with you. Then there is a quiz assessment, like after, I guess, every 15 to 20 days you will be having this. Then we are having this capstone projects. So total will be 24, where 4 projects will be a compulsory projects that you need to do to set into the placement. Then these are the supplementary course. This is a purely, you can say, free of cost. If you want to get into the detail of this, so you can just do this supplementary courses as well. Then you can meet our instructors and mentors. There is Rachit Jain. We have Alok Anand. You have just interacted with him. Then we have a Vikas Srivastava as well. Both are the co-founder of the Alma Better. Yeah. Then we are having this learn tab with you, where we will be having, for example, if someone wants to complete their course, sometimes what happen is with the students, they come to us with a different query. Like, I know some parts of the IT, this Python SQL, because nowadays Python has been taught in schools as well, right? So for example, if someone knows about the basic knowledge, so they have an option to skip that part, and then they can directly jump from the second module. But again, we requesting all of you, Like if you are a fresher, or if you don't have that much, you can say, good skill set, or if you have any doubt, so you can start your course from base only, because everything that we are covering over here with the latest one, right? So if you have learned, but still we give the option if someone wants to complete their course little early, like the foundation track is for 6 months, but you need to complete the course in 3 to 4 months, right? So you have an option, but that is only with the recorded session, that is not possible with the live session. So here you will be getting all recorded lectures with you for the entire course. Yeah. Then we are having this classroom session. In classroom, here you will be finding out all live sessions. So here in upcoming sessions, you can see the 7 day schedule. Right now there is no session, that is why it is showing you zero. But yeah, definitely if you have a session, so you will be seeing here next 7 day schedule. Then we are having this completed option. This completed option, basically the session, the live session that you have attended. So here you can see the recording of that session that I have mentioned in the earlier as well. You will be having a lifetime recording with you. So this is the lifetime recording with you. For example, if later on you want to practice, so you have an option to practice this session. Any questions, guys? Any questions for me? So you can write it down in the chat box. At the end, I'm going to answer all your queries. Then we are having this practice session. In practice session, you will be having coding problems. As I mentioned, like after every session, so there will be a assignments as well. There will be a quiz assignments as well. So you will be having this problems where you can have a lot of, like, it will be 132 coding assessments. Then you will be having option of supplementary courses. Then we have coding assessments with us. So can you see there are a lot of coding assessments that we have. Then we have a quiz assessment too. Yeah, so there is a preparation for mock test as well. Then we are having, as I mentioned earlier, it will be 24 projects where you will be completing a 4 projects compulsory. So these are the projects. You can see on the dashboard. I'm going to share you this link as well. Then this is a career track. So for example, someone asked me the question like, what is AlmaBetter? So basically, once you complete, can you see there is a 1% because I haven't done anything. Once you complete, this is 100%. So how it will be calculated? It will be purely calculated with these two tabs. If you're practicing, if you're completing your project, so this foundation track will be increasing. It doesn't depends upon your classroom. So here we don't have any, you can say, attendance criteria, but we have this practice and projects with us. If you're completing this, so this will increase. Once this will be 100%, you will be allowed to sit into the this AB-CAT exam. Basically this AB-CAT exam is for compulsory examination for placements, right? And this is not compulsory examination for master student. For master student, once they complete this foundation track 100%, they can directly sit into the placement. This is for certification. Yeah. Then we are having this mentorship. So you have an option to book a session one-on-one with the data science professional, where you can just click on this book option, where you have a several topics with you: interview, job counseling, resume building, academic projects, anything you can book on. Then this is the most interesting part that we have. This is called our job portal, from where you can apply for a several jobs. And this access you will get on a very first day, guys. So these are the jobs are available. So people who have a mind keep, basically, the in the market there is a recession going on, there is no recession going on, guys. It is basically how you are upskilling yourself and how you are placing yourself in a right company. So can you see the number here? 4483. So there are huge number of jobs. Here you can select a data science domain. Let's select a data science domain. So can you see it's 2391? So there are several openings in the market currently. Yeah. So this access you will be getting on a very first day, from where you can search the job. Once you complete one or two modules, then you can apply for a job from here. Even you have an option to select the location. Yeah, then we have this refer and earn with us, where you can make some money as well. So for example, if you and your friend wants to enroll with us, so your friend will get a 10,000 rupees discount, and you will get 7,500 cash, right? Then this is for the certification, so accordingly you can plan. Then this is a help option, can you see? So here you have an option to connect with the trainer one on one. So that will be subject matter expert. For example, I have attended live session, but there is some problem because our classes will be held twice a week. It will be on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. In case if we have to discuss anything, so you have an option to have to join this live support, where the people are available to connect with you one on one. In case if you have any doubt, you can directly join this, and they are available from Monday to Saturdays from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m., except Sundays, because Sundays we are closed. But from 12 to 7 they are always available. If you have anything, you can just join this live session, and this is a video call basically, and you will be connecting one on one. So that's all about the student dashboard, how AlmaBetter is helping. So any questions for me, guys? Any questions? So someone have asked about capstone project. So capstone projects, four project is required for placement. Both is different. No, four projects out of the projects that I have showed you, Nidhi. So these are the projects that is compulsory, that I have showed you. So that are the projects that you need to complete. Okay. So let's address one by one. So till when we have to submit the capstone project? As I mentioned, you have an option to have this 1 year option with you, where you need to submit the doubts, your project. So 6 months is the entire journey. We request all of you to complete your course within a period of 6 months. But in case if the time is more 7 or 8 months, so you have entire extra 6 months with you, where you need to submit all these things, and then you can able to sit into the placement. Yeah. So are we get the guidance? Yeah, definitely you will be getting the guidance. Everything will be done from you can say done by the instructor only, how you will make the project by your own. Yeah, so you will be getting it getting a definitely a help from our team for that. Yeah, definitely you will be getting a guidance from the team, and there will be a group projects as well. So that depends actually. So you have an option where you can connect one on one, you can connect in a group, even you can ask in a live sessions as well, like here you are asking. Yeah. Apart from this, do you have any questions, guys, for me? Any questions related to the curriculum, related to the projects, related to the practice session? If not, let's move ahead. So this is all about the dashboard, guys. Now let's discuss about. Thank you so much, Kaushik. So let's talk about the point that we are discussing. So I have gone through the complete, you can say, a student dashboard. So now I have a very interesting part for you guys. So I just wanted to hear from you all. So I have one surprise for you all. So definitely, everyone is excited for that or not? If you are excited, then only I'm going to share that news with you. Apart, let's wrap up the session, guys. Yes, no, anything? Guys, I'm requesting all of you to be little interactive with me, because this session is particular for you guys, to help you if you are planning to enroll in AlmaBetter courses. So definitely you will see how helpful we are, how you will land up for the job. And definitely I understand if you're coming from a non-IT background to IT, so you might have several questions with you. Yeah. So I hope your this session is really, really helpful for you. Even you can connect with Ayman on the LinkedIn as well. where she can share her expertise with you, and accordingly you can take a decision. Yeah. So yeah, got one reply. Okay, definitely. So definitely, guys, I have a good surprise for you, where we are having a Republic Day offer going on with us, where we are offering this discount, and we have our batch for the data science that is come starting on, you can say, 28th. So this is a little surprise for all of you, that we are offering a straight away discount of 20% on all courses, either certification, either master's degree. So even you can avail this discount, and where you can have it is only particularly for 28th uh, January batch. So if you are planning for enrollment, so definitely this coupon code you can use and you can avail the discount. Apart from it, I am going to share my number in the chat box. If you want to book a session with me, if you have any queries related to the course, or if you are already a part of AlmaBetter, or you want to know about more about the projects, anything, you can connect with me on this number. I am available for the calls on the WhatsApp as well. So you can connect with me one on one, and definitely I am going to help you for each and everything. So again, thank you so much everyone for joining this session. I hope you like a little surprise from my end. So definitely, I am like good to see you if you are planning to join Alma Better. Again, thank you so much for joining the session, and I hope this session is really little helpful for you to understand what exactly data science and a web development is. And if you're planning for enrollment, so you have a good discount going on right now, so you can plan accordingly. Apart, I have dropped my number in the chat box. You can see where you can connect with me one on one for the counseling session, and according to your educational background, we can like suggest you a good course, and accordingly you can just pursue and take the decision. Yeah. Any other thing, guys? Any questions further that I can help you with, or let's wrap up the session? So any questions from your end? Let's wait for another 30 seconds. Anyone, any questions, you can write it down in the chat box. I guess nobody have the questions. Okay, so thank you so much again, everyone, for joining the session, and happy weekend, all of you. Thank you.